was directly involved with the Lindsey Vonn situation. We'll get his take on that and all of your questions on the Royal Banks of Missouri text line 84126. Lynn Venhouse, she'll be talking shows today. I'm trying to think what jumped out at me from the list.
Well, and she's got a hot take on the new Wuthering Heights film, which has been all over the place, and people have said it's been a smutified version, is other things that it's been called. So I'm very curious to hear what her take on this, because it's getting a lot of hype.
And since the Olympics are the story, we thought we'd try to localize it. Jeff Brown is one of the great defensemen in Blues history. He was an all-star, had one of the best slap shots in the league. He also coached that magical team that had all those first-round draft choices, including Clayton Keller, Brady Tkachuk, and Matthew Tkachuk. Jeff's a really cool dude, and he's going to join us at 11:35 on what it was like to coach them and what he thinks about the United States' chances in the Olympics to win the gold medal. Because, Jill, it's nice if you win these preliminary games. It's nice if you win a semifinal game, but it's a pass-fail industry. And if they beat Canada on, I think it's February 22nd, then it's a success. If they don't, it's a failure.
And Corey, your wonderful colleague, Corey Miller, did a really good job of getting both Tkachuk brothers together in an interview. They were great. Shouted out Obie Clarks. And
we'll hear that soundbite a little bit later, in fact.
I thought he did a very, very good job of that. I'm missing the headline, and I know everyone else in the world knows this, but just in case there's one other person besides me, why was there a drought of not having hockey in the Olympics for those? Because they mentioned that in the soundbite as well. This is our first time playing.
I do not.
Well, it takes place in the middle of the season, and the NHL just didn't want to. They have to agree to let the players go.
Oh, okay, so that's why U.S. professional hockey players haven't been able to compete in the Olympics.
No professional hockey players.
Okay,
they've had it, but we haven't brought our NHL players.
Yes.
No one
okay.
has.
Thank you. I
It's
knew
not like
that
Sweden
it made sense. It's just I forgot what the headline was there.
And that's what made 1980 so crazy, is that we got a bunch of amateur players.
So the NHL gave a break this year and said so.
Well, they knew that the Olympics was like the greatest way to promote the league, and it's a league that's a distant fourth of the four major sports. So gosh, all this. I mean, can you imagine this? The ratings they get for the Olympics, and now for them get a chance to see their star players on the big stage with the world watching. That's just like you can't buy that kind of stuff. So
yeah, except they can't really promote it, which is another reason that they didn't want to do it.
What do you mean they can't?
The NHL can't post any highlights. They can't post any
matter.
video or pictures.
That doesn't matter at all.
Okay.
The only thing that matters is the amount of people watching the Olympics.
Yeah, like I'm watching Canadian hockey yesterday, and I wouldn't have if Bennington wouldn't have been.
But they're not saying, oh, here's so-and-so. You can watch them on the
people
St.
have
Louis
to find,
Blues.
Right. People have to. You have to watch Frank to get the information on how to watch our players. It's, Olympics. I love all that stuff in hockey, but it's bridal shower weekend. The bride.
Let's don't bury the lead.
Yes, the bride is in the house. She got in. Daughter Jane got here last night. The festivities are about to begin.
How many people?
2 different showers, great friends, and we've got people coming in from Florida and from Maryland. And I've been cooking all week and got everything I think lined up. The house is
two
clean.
Different locations or the same location?
Yeah,
where are the locations?
One is in Kirkwood and one is in Creve Coeur. Good friends throwing
individual houses.
Yeah, throwing
and
showers.
Then what about food?
I don't know. I'm not throwing these showers. I get to just attend with my daughter, so I'm very excited. But I know they're wonderful hosts, and it's going to be just a great, joyful weekend.
I think people. So how many people like at the first shower at Kirkwood, and then how many Creve Coeur total? What do you think total people?
Probably 15 or 20 at each.
So she could have the potential of coming away with like 40 gifts.
Yeah.
Gosh,
that's what
so
Frank
good.
is focused on.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
The gift potential.
Yeah, showers are up. Yeah, it's just
and nothing for the husband at all.
Maybe. I mean, he helped. I have to say, he really weighed in on the items.
But he's not coming away with a set of golf clubs or nice pullover.
No, but he's really excited. I mean, he was
Does
just
he show up at the end?
He's not going to be here this weekend at all. Okay. He's going to be at home in Texas golfing this weekend. He's getting ready for a tournament with his dad.
You go to the shower, I'll be playing golf.
But his mom's going to be here. Future mother-in-law, we're friends, so she's coming in, and so it's a joyful weekend. I love Valentine's Day. John and I got engaged. Let's see how many years ago now. 34 years ago on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
and
so you guys really play it up.
Well, it's just we don't really play it up.
He's not just saying let's fool around. He's pulling out all the stops because this is a special day in your life.
Well, I can't speak for him, but I might get a card too. Is my point. Yeah, we it's a nice celebration.
That's great.
Yeah, it's really fun. And by the way, last night we went to get a cake for this festivities the
That's
people
good.
were hosting. No, we went big time. We went to Russell's on Mackland,
Ooh,
which
boy.
is phenomenal. And I asked him over the phone. I panicked. I said, "Here's the number of people." They said, "You better get the big one." So I got a cake that's the size of my torso for this weekend. It's huge, but I know it's going to be
Well, if
delicious.
there's any extra slices, you can always bring them in
Okay.
on Monday.
Now they're
Exactly.
not a sponsor, so we can say this cake will feed 20, basically, right?
I think easily.
Okay, so price wise, can I just take a stab? I'll
Yeah.
say $300.
$60.
Wow.
I know, which is
So this is
and
not like
it's-
a wedding cake, or this is
No, but it's going to serve. I mean, I'm not kidding. It's like 8 inches high. I don't know how many
60
layers.
bucks? That seems really good.
Their cakes are so second to none. So we stayed and ate dinner there last night and had I think it's been their most popular item on the menu for 14 years. John got the bacon wrapped meatloaf. If you've never had it at Russell's,
Boy, that sounds insane.
it's insane. It's really, really insane. I got the sea bass, which was a Valentine's Day special. It was out of this world. It was a really good dinner.
Now, this is not like a tasting where you get a great meal out of it if you're buying the cake.
No, because the wedding's not here. So we got to do that in Florida when we were there. We got to do the tasting where they brought out all the different stops.
We did that at the MAC. Yeah, let me try that chicken a little bit more. The shrimp is good, but I'd like to try a little bit more. What about the steak? Yeah, that's good. So
you're only paying, tens of thousands of dollars for the privilege of getting that one free meal.
that extra bite of chicken. So all you had to do is pay for the cake.
Well, we're hosting like Jane's friends that are bridesmaids are coming in. So tonight we're having a soup supper. I made like 5 kinds of soup and John smoked turkeys for turkey sandwiches and we got some cake for that. So
That's good. I swear over the last 5 years, Monique and Brooke and Macy have been to 12 of these. It's crazy. It's like every weekend there's some kind of shower.
yeah, it's fun. Well, and and now that she's had a baby, then we get into the baby shower things too. We're not there yet.
Gosh, yeah.
But
You don't have to buy any baby stuff. Everything's provided. Well, for at least for a while.
It's interesting that you're not going to the showers as well. You said Monique and Brooke are going.
I don't think I was invited. Let's be honest. I did not make the list. And Chris,
because he wouldn't have RSVP'd as we totally we were able to.
Yeah, Brooke's husband. I just remember this because he blew it because the groom sometimes shows up at the end. And, he's a nice-looking guy. He's well-dressed. He goes he has a nice job. He comes in looking like the biggest slob after a workout at the MAC. Everybody looked at him with such disdain. Chris, you just blew it. All right, let's take a short time out. We're going to have the opening dialogue when we come back. What a guest list. Dr. Rick Lindvenhouse and the former blues star, the women used to love this guy, Jeff Brown. We'll be right back.
Prestige Pools and Spas, St. Louis's most award-winning pool company, family-owned for over 40 years, proudly supports the Backstoppers on KTRS. Their in-ground pool, swim, spa, and hot tub experts can make your dreams a reality. Get a tremendous deal on hot tub and swim spa display models with full warranties while supplies last. Veterans and first responders always receive 10% off any in-store retail purchase. Visit their showroom on Watson Road in Sunset Hills or online at prestigepoolsandspas.com. Prestige Pools and Spas salutes all our first responders and their families who put their lives on the line every day to protect them.
Now is the perfect time to fall in love with your next home. First Community has a home loan that is perfect for you. Our Smart Choice Home Loan is a 30-year fixed-rate loan with a great rate. And with a 10% down payment, you won't have to pay for private mortgage insurance. It's home buying made easy at First Community. $1 share deposit required, must qualify for membership. Loan subject to credit approval. Rate, terms, and conditions subject to change without notice. MLS ID number 684198.
You've had all these great ideas about what to do with your outside space. Now's the time to take the next step and call Outdoor Living, because Pat Leahy and the gang at Outdoor Living have built a showroom, which is a great resource for you. You can go in and see all the products they have, the composite decking, the metal framing. You see, at Outdoor Living, what they pride themselves on is building it right the first time and never having to worry about it again. So they build it. You can enjoy it for the rest of your life. Outdoor Living, their showroom on Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood, is a great resource for you. You can go and see all the different ways and all the different things they can do. Then they'll come out, they'll do a site visit, and in just a few short weeks, you will have the dream deck, fence, gazebo, pergola, whatever it may be. Outdoor Living right there in Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. 314-966-3325 or OutdoorLivingInc.com. Check out the showroom and take that next step. You'll love it. Outdoor Living or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Hey, Heidi Glaus here, inviting you to join me October 24th as we journey in search of Iceland's magical northern lights with Colette. We're going to experience the land of fire and ice with a rare opportunity to search for the northern lights, one of nature's most dazzling light displays. We'll see steaming lava fields, massive glacier-sculpted mountains and valleys, not to mention thundering waterfalls. We'll travel the Golden Circle and walk on a black volcanic sand beach, plus relax in the warm, mineral-rich water of the Blue Lagoon. This and so much more. Colette handles the details from flights, meals, hotels, and local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Don't miss out. Join me and call our friends at Altair Travel, 314-968-9600, or go to KTRS.com to learn more. That number again, 314-968-9600.
And now the opening dialogue with Frank and Jill on the Big 550 KTRS. Powered by Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Okay, here we go with thought one. So Hunter Hess, the skier, said he had mixed emotions about representing the United States, and we live in this incredible country where you can say that without any repercussions. That's what makes the USA awesome. And many agree with him, and that's absolutely fine. But I prefer the way the Kachucks express so much love for our country and our city and the privilege to represent it. Here's Matthew and Brady with our Corey Miller after Team USA beat Latvia 5-1 yesterday.
Mm. That's great.
Love the country and love the city of St. Louis, and most importantly, love O.B. Clark's. I sent a camera over there, and Jimmy O'Brien said they were rocking. And that bar business, as the United States evolves in the Olympics, is just going to go crazy there. And how about that health food meal for this professional athlete? It seems like all the great food groups.
Protein. I mean, don't we need to have that for all of us watching? We need to be building our protein as well. I love it. I love those guys.
And have you ever had their pizza?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I always wonder, how do a bunch of Irish guys come up with such great pizza? I mean, it really is good. I don't know. Maybe it's because I've had a beer before I've had it. You go there when you're hungry, but I think it's terrific.
There's nothing like the vibe of some of the great Irish bars we have, whether it's, Maggie O'Brien's, O.B. Clark's, just to go in. It's festive, it's fun, it's funky, and I absolutely love it. I love that they called them out this morning.
And one more. In the Four Nations face-off, those two, particularly Matthew, started to transcend the sport of hockey because of their patriotism. They became really, really famous. And if they could lead, Jill, the United States to a victory over Canada in the gold medal game, they would blow up. Hoping for it, but I don't know. Canada has a better roster. And, oh, by the way, Jordan Binnington looked like Jordan Binnington from the Stanley Cup Blues in turning back all 26 shots.
Yeah, we've already gotten some texts on that on the text line this morning. People calling him out for sure. A couple of pieces of national news. Want to get your takes on it on the Royal Banks of Missouri. Headline this morning: inflation cooled in January. That's good, right? We want inflation to cool. We want it to drop. And the increase, unfortunately, it's still at 2.4% increase, right? So prices are still going up. And the Fed says they'd like to see that number be at 2% or less, but it's still not going up as quickly as it is. You brought up the point earlier, we were talking to Anita Mannion this week, that affordability remains a concern for many Americans as we're thinking about these midterm elections. I always have the theory that whichever party is in power, if the economy is good, they take more credit than they actually deserve. If the economy is not, there's always more blame placed than there should be, and that it isn't. There's a lot of other factors that don't have to do with who's in party. But again, if you're going to take the credit, then you're going to have to take the blame as well. And all politicians on both sides love to take the credit when things are good. In other news worth talking about this morning, I think Joe Holloman, earlier this week, we talked to him about a column he'd written. He talked about the fact that that there was a lot of attention being done. Senator Eric Schmidt talking about the fact that he wanted more support going towards ICE. Josh Hawley saying, wait a second, I think we have to look into some of their tactics. They weren't necessarily on the same page. Last night on Donnybrook, Charlie Brennan, guest of the show last week, new columnist for St. Louis, the St. Louis Business Journal. He came in pretty hot criticizing Eric Schmidt specifically for the fact that we have not gotten any of that federal money that was promised for tornado relief. Here's what he had to say about that. And I started that a little too late, but what he says, he specifically points out and says Kit Bond and Roy Blunt were very good at making sure that when Missouri had money coming in, and that he wants the focus specifically of Eric Schmidt more, but others, on getting that money. And I did think about it. You know, we reported earlier this week, Frank, that $400,000 for a new boat. I'm always wanting support to go to law enforcement if the county police say they need a new boat. But we are in a situation, and I know we can't talk about it every single day, but people are in third world conditions, living in some cases a mile or two or less than 10 miles from our houses. And we're going along with our daily lives like, nothing's wrong. It's great. Who cares? My comfortable suburban life or my comfortable cushy neighborhood in the city is fine. So why should I care? And people are really suffering. And I do think we need to put the heat on some of our elected officials like Charlie did last night and say, what are you guys doing to make sure that money was promised actually helps bring some relief to these people?
And not so. And along those lines is sometimes the money is actually there, but it takes a long time for them to distribute it and determine it. Remember with the Rams money, the $800 million, we found out like for a year it wasn't even gaining interest.
Right. So there's vetting happening. I'm all for vetting. I sometimes we have situations where money was thrown out willy-nilly and then it ends up getting used for nefarious purposes. We've seen that a lot with the federal relief money in COVID. So I get it, but there has to be a middle ground here where it just can't be forgotten.
Oh, good for Charlie and good for you for bringing it out. All right, thought two. Do we care if you share? So we know the story about the bronze medalist from Norway, Sturla Holm Legreed, decided to tell us that 3 months ago he cheated on the love of his life. He did not name her name. He said he met her 6 months ago and he cheated on her at the 3-month mark. I don't know. I don't really care. Then there was the Olympian, Breezy Johnson. What a performance in winning the gold medal, by the way. So she decided to share, I think she's come out before, that she was bisexual. And the line was, because people need to know the world of champions is not just comprised by straight white people. And she also got engaged on the slopes. So kind of a real soap opera, let's tell all at the Olympics. But I will say this. Breezy may actually inspire similar people like herself with her revelation. And I think that's a good thing. Just imagine when Billie Jean King and Martina Navratilova came out, the number of people they inspired who were like them. And in the end, I think all of us are looking for inspiration. And a lot of times we don't get inspiration unless there's some type of common denominator. It helps if we share a trait with that person. I mean, can you imagine what say Jackie Robinson did for African-American kids playing baseball who never thought they'd get a chance to play in the major leagues? Wait a minute. He's got the same color skin I have. If he can do it, I can do it. Mm-hmm. So right now, let's bring it to present. Caitlin Clark, what she has done to little girls dribbling a basketball. Now, it's likely that none of them ever get to her level, but some of them may really take a great shot and get a scholarship and have great lives because of their passion for the game. What Tiger did for young golfers, what it did for you. So I'm asking on the text lines, 84126, who is the person that may have inspired you, that you saw, hey, I got something in common with this person, or I just really like this person. I'm going to go that route. So that's why I kind of like it when, revelations are made. I could deal without the soap opera stuff of the Norwegian guy, but I like, Breezy Johnson. So.
Really interesting conversation. I'm sure we're going to get some good input, and I appreciate you bringing it up. I'm having a Swiss cheese brain moment. Jane, incredible sportscaster, sat in this chair a couple of months ago, or the first woman to be on Wide World of Sports, who we had in the studio here. Is beautiful. You were in love with her at one point.
Jane Kennedy.
Jane Kennedy.
Yeah.
Thank you. I could not. I was drawing.
NFL Today.
And NFL Today, she was saying that that people like Oprah Winfrey
were inspired by her
because it was the first time they'd seen somebody with the same color skin as her, watching her on a national news. In a national stage like that, and that really stuck with me. So reminded me of this great point that you just made. Friday, Life Coach Minutes. This is the thing that Frank just waits for. He stays up late at night. He's like,
I record here. Hold on.
Yeah. A lot of people do, though, come to me and say, Jill, I just don't have enough time. And it's true. It feels like a lot of the times we don't have enough time. But often I think what we really mean when we say we don't have enough time is I don't have enough energy. And specifically, maybe I don't have enough energy to do what really matters to me. That's often the subtext underneath the statement, I don't have enough time. The number of the hours in the day is fixed, right? It's 24 hours. It's not variable. But the amount of energy things take from us is definitely variable. And a lot of times we have energy vampires in our life that are draining our energy without it realizing it. For instance, friends on both sides of the political aisle watching a ton of highly charged political perspective television full of conflict entrepreneurs throwing propagandized stuff at you. That can get you riled up and fired up, but it also could take a lot of your energy, leaking energy that you may not realize that could be used for other things that actually matter in your life. Or if you're spending a lot of time living up to others' expectations, that can be a drain. You and I both had this experience, I know, Frank, working at a TV station in the past where the powers that be will get all excited about doing certain kind of stories or changing things that we know the audience doesn't really care about, but some market researcher has said, we're going to spend a lot of time and energy spinning our wheels on stuff. Like maybe a lot of programming on apps. I'm just saying, I could be wrong about that. Ultimately, the audience doesn't necessarily care about it. That's a big energy drain when you know you're doing something that's actually futile and you're spending time and energy on something. So maybe this week, start paying attention to what drains you and what recharges you. It's okay if you're doing stuff that matters and it drains your energy and you need to replenish it. That's not bad. But if you can start looking for the leaks, the things that are draining your energy that don't matter to you, don't line up to your values, that's where you may want to fix some of those leaks. Just ask yourself the question, what drains my energy the fastest? What restores it almost immediately? And how would my days look differently if I protected that energy a little more carefully?
But what if you don't have a choice, though? In draining the energy, you have a boss and you want to keep your job, so they tell you what to do, even though you think it's futile.
Then you have to spend less time resisting it, because resistance is another form of energy drain. And if you truly can't change it, you need to accept it so that you give yourself some peace, so you're spending less time arguing in your head and getting mad about stuff you can't actually change.
Okay. All right. I like it. All right. Thought three, couple of quickies here. We've known about it for months, but to walk into that studio and seeing the people on that set at one time, Mike Bush, Ann Ulrich, and then Steve Savard, kind of cool. Not sure if a station could match that three-shot in terms of star power. Steve is where he should be, St. Louis, doing what he does best, talking on television. It's the way his career should go and eventually finish on top at Channel 5.
What a great first story, too. Wasn't it such a good story?
He and Andy Broadway put together a super story about basically a war hero. So really awesome. It was just cool. It was cool. And we're killing him in the newsroom. He's firing back, and it's great. So we're working on a game plan to cover SLU basketball in the postseason. And we needed a name for our coverage. I texted about 10 people last night. I said, we need a quick slogan. And Bob Ramsey, I think, nailed it. His title for Channel 5's coverage of the Billikens in the tournaments, I mentioned that because it's A10 and NCAA. Here it is, Running with the Bills. Isn't that good?
Instead of running with the Bulls, running with the Bills. That's very good.
He's an idea man. Call Starkist. The other in contention, SLU Stereo. My Mizzou friend texted me and said, one and done. Come on, be nice. But if you have one that's even better, I don't think we can beat Running with the Bills. I've been on the text lines, or not on the email is exchanged with the news director, with all of our salespeople, and that's leading. But I would take another one if somebody's got one, 84126.
And thanks for reaching out to me to get my ideas on that, too. I appreciate that.
If you have one, we'll go with yours. The Billikens play tonight at Loyola, and yet Monique planned a night of candlelight concerts in St. Louis. It's at the Link Auditorium. We'll be listening to something called Candlelight Queen versus ABBA. Taping the game, won't glance at my phone so I can watch it feeling like it live.
Doesn't Loyola in Chicago have like 7? They have like 7 wins.
It's the Billikens.
Okay.
And next Friday, she wants to see Phantom of the Opera at the Fox, but the Bills are playing at home. I said, no freaking chance.
So you had to do some trade.
Flex a little bit there.
Yeah, some trade out there. Okay, final thought quickly for me is Friday. That means we do a showbiz roundup. Of course, this week in Hollywood, James Vanderbeek, Dawson Creek fame, passed away. Really sad news. Left behind, I think, 5 or 6 kids. Co-star Katie Holmes posted a tribute to him yesterday, calling them some of the closest people ever and vowing to be there for his family. One of the grass dancers from Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show. You know that all the people, the grass in that I was on the field,
yeah.
were sugarcane dancers, depending on what you call them. There's been so many funny memes all over the internet about people who tried out for those jobs and then didn't get it. I mean, jokes. I don't think it was real. But one of the dancers is selling his costume for $5,000 on eBay, including the entire outfit, with the in-ear radio, credentials, and the snacks they were given. Be interesting to see if somebody's going to pay. Dolly Parton telling a very funny story this week, including the time she lost a Dolly Parton look-alike contest in New York City to drag queens.
God.
And Megan Maroney says, the country singer, says the worst Valentine's Day gift she ever got was a self-help book from the person she was dating at the time. It even included a note from the guy that said, I know you're not actually going to read this, so I've made some spark notes for you to use, which prompted me to want to ask you guys on the Royal Banks of Missouri text line, best Valentine's gift you've ever gotten, worst Valentine's gift you've ever gotten.
I don't know if I've ever gotten one. I don't know.
You've never, or one that you can talk about on the radio?
I bet we'll get some good ones, though.
Yes.
84126.
For sure. Speaking of gifts, our friends at Premier Heating and Cooling gift their customers every day with exceptional customer service. Don't just believe me. Believe that Better Business Bureau A rating. Even though I am a customer, and I can tell you my customer service experience is always excellent. Mainly because Tony, the technician who comes to my house, is so darn good at his job. I mean, the guy is absolutely the most knowledgeable person I've ever talked to when it comes to heating and cooling systems. He can handle the high-tech stuff like the fancy schmancy, the wonderful digital and remote thermostats that I had them install. And he's not afraid of a 20-plus-year-old heating and cooling system that's working still well, and he's working his hardest to make sure it continues to keep running. Whatever, wherever you are on the spectrum, new system, old system, shopping for something, wanting to make it more efficient, business owner, individual owner, they're highly trained technicians at Premier Heating and Cooling can take care of your heating and cooling needs and do it with top-notch customer service. They love what they do. They love working for a great company. You'll love being their customer. PremierHeatingCooling.net, 636-916-1122. Dr. Rick up next. Get your questions in.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Bogus, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemaristudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemaristudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Lang. Join me for Animal Talk every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 3 on the Big 550, KTRS, the animal talk of St. Louis.
The Big 550, KTRS, has supported the Backstoppers for the past 5 years, and they are stepping up again this year. In that spirit, and to raise money for this great cause, Gingham's Restaurant in St. Charles is proud to co-sponsor this event. Backstoppers provides approximately $2.5 million each year to support these heroes. Please join Gingham's Restaurant and KTRS to support this great organization.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Drury Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Drury Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems, call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis, at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
And now, KTRS weather.
Meteorologist Chance Gotch with your first alert forecast, tracking a sunny day, 62 degrees. Take advantage because by late morning Saturday, we're going to be tracking some rain moving in. Could be impactful for your plans. 51 degrees for the high. Steady rain lasts all the way through Sunday morning before pushing off to the east. Highs towards the upper 50s into Sunday. The rest of the day Sunday going to be looking dry with a lot more sunshine. We'll continue to rise with temperatures eventually reaching back towards the lower 70s by next Wednesday. Looking dry. Second half of the week, some isolated chances on deck. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Gotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
It's a Friday version of Dr. Rick on the Frank and Jill show on the Big 550 KTRS. Dr. Rick, good to be with you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Very good. A couple of things right off the bat. The Lindsey Vonn situation, I know you're very close to it. You've been with her. Where do we stand now with her? What exactly happened? And this is going to be it for the 41-year-old champion?
You know, great question. So basically, she dislocated her shoulder going through the gate and then fell and then basically suffered a severe tibia fracture. She's had 3 surgeries in the last 5 days, and the last surgery, and you can see a picture of it somewhere on the internet. She sent me hers, but I think it's also been in the media, where she's got something called an external fixator, which looks like an erector set going from her.
Yeah, I saw that on social media yesterday.
Yeah, tibia to her hip. And they can't transport her yet because she's still having some nerve problems in her leg. So the good and the bad, I think eventually she'll have surgery to get her tibia fixed. We may see her for her ligament, and that's on the back burner because that's getting the bone healed, job number one, and not having an infection, which there is some concern right now in Italy. And then the second thing, your question is a good one. And I would normally say there's no chance she's going to ski again, except knowing her as I do. I'm not going to say that because it wouldn't shock me if in 2 years she said, I think I'm going to give it a go. 41, she'll be 43 at the next World Championships. Unlikely that she could do it, but if anyone could do it, or if anyone would try to do it, she would try to do it.
Mark Dorsey wanted me to ask you this question. I think I know the answer because you are at the Summer Olympics giving direct care to them. But the people who are doing this surgery, they're not Italian doctors in Milan. They're United States doctors that are in Milan, correct?
Generally, that is correct. Now, she's going to be in an Italian hospital. All the assistance and all that ancillary stuff is going to be from the Italian medical. But I think mostly these are going to be Olympic doctors that have some association, with the USOC and the United States ski team. So, yes, that's correct.
Dr. Rick, we started getting questions on Tuesday. You weren't able to be with us on Tuesday, so I do want to make sure we can get to as many of these as we can, if you don't mind. Will a torn, from the 314, will a torn meniscus cause pain in the back of the knee as well as in the calf and thigh?
Well, it depends on where the tear is. So if you have what's called a root tear, which is the back part of the meniscus pulling out of the bone, you can get pain in the back of the knee. Now, generally, when you get thigh and calf pain, it's because of compensation. You're not walking correctly. you're trying to protect that part of your knee, and you get a compensatory soreness. But generally, the pain is going to be in the back or the side of your knee.
Family dinners may keep teenagers off drink and drugs. It's a new study. Tell me about it.
This is interesting, and I think what happens is having dinner and talking about issues and kind of seeing how your parents do things over a period of time, I think sets in. So e-cigarettes, cannabis, drinking, drug use goes way down when you have family set dinners. And I think basically, you're basically brainwashing your kids in kind of a subtle way when you're talking to them and having dinner with them and having this time with them. And I think when you don't spend any time with them, they get all their information from their friends, which may be good or may be bad. So, for parents out there, make sure you spend the time, say, hey, every night we're going to, or whatever, 4 days a week, we're going to spend 45 minutes and we're going to have a meal together, and we're all going to sit down and everyone's going to air their issues, etc. And, it really makes sense. And I think old school, back in the day when family meals were a big thing, the kids were probably less likely to use drugs.
We talked about a little bit offline about whether these full body MRIs that some people are touting as ways to catch cancer early are worth it for people to pay for, particularly out of their own pocket. What do you think about some of the research on that?
Well, the research is interesting, and I think it's something doctors have always known. And there's two problems with these total body MRIs. Number one, the chances of you being asymptomatic and finding a cancer, the study says 1 to 2%, and I question that. I think it's less than that. Wow. If you have no symptoms and you get an MRI every year, I think that the chances of being totally asymptomatic and having cancer is pretty small, because cancer is painful or has some symptoms. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, I think what happens, and I've seen this over and over again, is they find something, you freak out because you're like, oh my gosh, my MRI is positive. They do this giant workup and they go, oh, it was really nothing. You have a small blip in your lung, or you have this, and millions of people have it. So I think it overreads a lot of problems, and then you get a big workup. But generally, if you have a problem, you have a problem. So if you have a lung problem and you can't breathe, or you have a colon problem and there's a change in your bowels, it's unlikely you're going to find something in someone that's totally healthy just because you took the scan. So, they're expensive. I would probably say, unless there's a reason to follow up with a total body MRI, I think it's probably a waste of money.
Common sweetener may damage critical brain barrier, risking stroke. Now, are we talking about those really little tasty pink things you put in iced tea, or what are we talking about, the common sweetener?
Yes. I mean, erythritol, yes, those tiny pink things. I think that, the sweeteners come in all different kinds, aspartame, stevia, etc., and sucralose, erythritol, maltitol. And so erythritol is the bad one, maltitol is the bad one, and they basically break down the blood-brain barrier and potentially creates a stroke or a vascular situation. Now, I think that you have to put this into context. So if you put one of those pink things in your iced tea, nothing's going to happen. But if you're having 10 iced teas a day over a year, something's going to happen. So, again, an occasional diet soda, don't get crazy. But if you're somebody who's just, banging out, those little pink things, and you're just putting it in all your stuff and you're cooking with it, over a period of time, it can affect your blood-brain barrier and increase the incidence of stroke. So, again, moderation's okay. But general rule is those sweeteners should be used in a limited basis.
Very good. Can I give you a few of these rapid fire that are coming in from our listeners on the Royal Banks of Missouri text line?
Let's go.
Would love more information on bursitis, specifically regarding the shoulder.
So bursitis is an inflammation between the rotator cuff and the roof of your shoulder. Generally, it can be seen if you're quote-unquote impinging, and that's generally a physical therapy cure, possibly an injection cure. It's generally not a surgery, and it's probably mechanical. So if you go to physical therapy, you get your mechanics straightened out, your bursitis is probably going to get better. And if it doesn't get better in 3-4 weeks, you probably need an injection.
Okay. Is phenylephrine, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, in Sudafed PE or many cough and cold medicines effective or closer to a placebo?
I think phenylephrine is very effective. And again, I don't. There may be some minor placebo effect, but it is going to dry you up, and I think it is effective. The key in that is to get to it early. You know, if you've been sick for 4 or 5 days, you're probably not going to have the same response. But, you know, as soon as you feel like, hey, I'm starting to get sick, you want to go ahead and start taking the medicine, and I think it's effective.
Question for Dr. Rick. How bad is it for you to use a pan where the nonstick coating is compromised?
There isn't anything worse.
Oh.
I mean, that's the worst possible thing. First of all, you know, this is my opinion, and I probably shouldn't say this on air, but I don't think anybody should be using coated pans, because all the research shows increases in cancer and all kinds of metabolic bone disease, et cetera. So, you know, what happens is they break down. I think when the coating's perfect, it probably works fine, and, you know, your eggs don't stick or whatever. But at the end of the day, sooner or later, the coating is going to break down, and that releases free radicals and increases your chance of cancer. So, you know, if you can, you probably should go to an all stainless steel or all iron or all copper kind of utensil. But I think all of those coverings across the board, sooner or later, are going to be a problem.
Okay, I promised this friend I'd ask this question. He's been telling me for 3 weeks. He's, I'd say, 55, and he seems as sharp as a tack, and he says he doesn't come up with names quite as quickly as he used to. Is there a danger there, or is that just the natural aging process and there's no reason to worry?
So I think that's going to get worse, and I don't think there's anything that's so common and it's age-related. And what happens is, you know, if you think about it over a period of an hour, half an hour, 20 minutes, all of a sudden it comes to you. But that quick, you know, answer, you start to lose that. So the answer to your question is, I think that's going to happen to everybody across the board at some level. And I think this concern about dementia is kind of oversold, because when you get it, you're confused. It's not that you just can't remember, or you look at someone, you can't remember their name. It's not that, or you can't recollect that word. It's a complete fog. It's being afraid. There's all kinds of things that's going on. So if you're 55 or 50 and you start to lose some of that sharpness, you just can't remember like you used to, that's age related. That's going to happen. That's going to get worse. If you start to have problems where, you know, you're standing in the middle of your kitchen and you don't know where you are, or you see one of your kids, you can't remember their name, then you have a problem.
Good stuff, Dr. Rick. As usual, you have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
All right, Dr. Rick joining us.
Yes, he's an incredibly busy week and still made time for us. We appreciate him so.
Do you think you
so
remember
much.
names as well?
No,
now
I mean,
as
look
you
at what I did with Jane Kennedy, and this job has really exposed.
You had never heard of Jane Kennedy. You met her for 45 minutes. I mean, that's pretty
Well, no, I mean, that's happened, and this job exposes it because I'm doing it in front of a bunch of other people. I think it's
Live.
made me more aware of,
Yeah.
again, I call it the Swiss cheese in my brain, but it's definitely, yeah, brain fog has been a real thing for me in the last few years. But
How about this, real quick? Aren't you better, too, with things like from a long time ago? Oh, my God. Like, I still remember the Portland Trailblazers starting lineups from the 70s, but sometimes I'll forget this person's name at work who
I can tell you everybody who was in my third grade class, even though I haven't seen many of those people for 40 years, but I can.
Weird. It just gets ingrained.
Right. Yeah. Or somebody who's a good friend that it's just like I can think of the letters, but I haven't seen for a long time, and I'm like, what is happening to me? Yeah, it's a real, the mind, it's a terrible thing to lose. But one of the things that I think we know now is that exercise is really good for our brains. And we used to think it's like, yeah, it's good for our bodies and it's good for, staying fit and being able to wear the same size pants. But really we know now in terms of longevity and our health span, which is how long we get to do the things in life we really want to do, there's nothing better than exercise, and specifically weight training, right? Back in the day, it was like, especially for women, it was like, well, I don't want to weight train. I don't want to look like a bodybuilder. Now we know that we are so much more likely to live the life we want to live when we get into our 60s, 70s, and 80s, when we exercise regularly. And specific weight training helps with brain health. It helps with longevity. Stuff like grip strength can determine how long we live. Who knew? But all the research is out there. And going to 20 Minutes to Fitness has been my commitment every single week to make sure that I get that weight training in, that I feel the difference, that I'm getting stronger all the time. If you're looking for the kind of workout where you just sort of lay there and pretend and hope that it does something good, this isn't it. But if you're willing to commit 20 minutes to really working hard and to see results and to get those muscles maxed out, you are going to see those results. I can promise you that. 20 Minutes to Fitness locations in Chesterfield and Clayton. Check them out online. Your first session is free.
How do you separate estate planning from elder law? You don't, because they're so intertwined. Let's face it, we're all getting older, and you need to make these decisions today, whether it's for your parents, for yourself, or for future generations. Rudy Beck, Jay Lennox, and Caroline Stolzer have been navigating these important decisions for more than 50 years. Beck, Lennox, Stolzer, Estate Planning, and Elder Law. Call them, 636-946-7899 or beckelderlaw.com. You can thank me later.
Are you prepared to take advantage of all the new changes in the tax law this year? Hi, I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group and the author of the #1 best-selling book on taxes, Keep What's Yours. This year, we're celebrating 50 years helping area businesses get their financial plans in order, reduce their tax liability, and stop overpaying their federal and state income taxes. I'm also launching my newest book, Keeping What's Yours, the Strategic Tax Planning Guide for the One Big Beautiful Bill. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act made permanent many of the tax rules from the Tax and Jobs Act signed into law in 2017, but also added many new benefits to both businesses and households. My new book, Keeping What's Yours, the Strategic Tax Planning Guide for the One Big Beautiful Bill, outlines the details. Get your copy today at capitaladvisorygrp.com or find it on Amazon.
This safety message is reminding all drivers to use the 3 C's: caution, courtesy, and common sense. It could save a life and a lifetime of regret. This message courtesy of Accurate Mechanical Contractors in St. Louis, serving the area with reliability and excellence. For more info, call 314-291-4336. That's 314-291-4336. Accurate Mechanical Contractors is reminding everyone to please drive safely.
A weekend at home or a weekend RVing? Staring at your neighbor's security lights or counting stars? Watching the Travel Channel or sitting around the campfire with friends? Break away. Get out of town in an RV from Byerly in Eureka.
For the rest of your life, you gotta be there. Byerly RV.
If you're concerned about the health of your trees, you need to talk to the Davey Tree Expert Company. These people love trees. They have a passion for keeping trees healthy. Their certified arborists provide personalized care for your trees. They're trained in the latest technologies for safe and accurate pruning and provide reliable preventative measures for diseases and invasive insects.
Locations in South County, Webster Groves, and coming soon to St. Charles. Davey Tree serves the entire St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river. Visit Davey, spelled DAVEY.com.
Boy, I appreciate the honesty of this texter. I'm more absent-minded. I think I have ADHD, don't we all? I go from one thought to another rapidly without remembering my initial thought. Ugh. Join the crowd, but I appreciate your honesty, 618.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, the really important reporting I need to do is on the fact that it's, as I mentioned earlier, it is a bridal shower weekend for daughter Jane. She feels like we need to report that her future husband has actually liked these shower gifts, including things like steak knives, the coffee maker. There's a lot of stuff coming in here.
Those sound like good gifts there, man.
I know. I said this when my older daughter got married, too. There is a part of you, now that we've been married for 34 years, it's like, when do we get the shower for the parents of the bride so you can replace, we had the only time in my life I've got really nice towels and really nice sheets really is at wedding showers or for our wedding. And I haven't really ever met that quality since then.
I think I've brought this up, but don't you think, and I don't know how good a coffee maker they're getting, but don't you think you should just buy the greatest coffee maker of all time and keep it in your house? Or, I know you drink tea, but your husband...
He loves coffee, and I bought him a nice coffee maker a couple of years ago that based on some friend's house that we stayed at, and he still has a cow about it. He's like, you shouldn't have got me such a nice coffee maker. But I was like, you love coffee. It's one of the great joys of your life.
Day.
Yes.
I mean, gosh. Yeah, so I'm going to try to win an argument with Monique on that.
He
This
is-
is fine. This coffee maker is fine.
Well, and the kids were trying to, they're big coffee drinkers, both of them, and they were trying to explain like what you can get at home now in terms of some of the
Yes.
Italian style espresso makers and stuff. Apparently it's out of this world compared to the Mr. Coffees that we all grew up with. Joe DiMaggio, remember, from Mr. Coffee?
Yeah, he was famous for that. We're talking about athletes or people in your life who inspire you. That's a topic today, 84126. I grew up in the 60s. My sports idol was Tim McCarver. I was a catcher throughout youth baseball and always wore number 15. Good text.
Before we take a break, I thought it was fun too. The Kachuk boys, young men, are staying in Olympic Village. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And people have said, you guys are, fancy, famous NHL players. Why are you doing that? He's like, oh, it's fun. It's for the social. Now, they did mention a couple times that they were hanging out with figure skaters and, playing cards and stuff. And I thought, well, they're smart. They're like, where are the interesting young women going to be at Olympic Village? I'm going to hang out there.
But I will say this, just so everybody knows, they're very happily married. And
Oh, okay, sorry.
Brady has a couple of kids.
How old are they?
Brady's got 2, and I think Matthew either has one or is one on the way, because we were at Kachuk's about a month ago, and Mrs. Kachuk, this is a great-grandmother, she's doing FaceTime with like a 1-year-old baby, like yelling and yelling at the baby, hey, I love you so much. Just such a great grandmother moment. They're great grandparents, I can tell. So, all right, we'll take a short time out. When we come back, Lynn Venhouse, who usually arrives on time, will be joining us.
Between all the holiday parties,
Weekend tailgates.
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
We've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
KTRS St. Louis, the Big 550, and KTRS.com.
From ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. A partial government shutdown could take effect at midnight tonight as lawmakers remain at a standoff on funding for the Department of Homeland Security. ABC's Jay O'Brien is in Washington with the latest.
The White House and Democrats have been trading proposals back and forth for ICE reforms, but there's no deal in sight yet. All of it coming as, according to the congressional schedule, members are not set to return for about 2 weeks.
Democrats have been demanding changes at ICE, including requiring signed warrants for arrests and agents turning on their body cameras. Inflation cooled off in January, dropping to its lowest level in 9 months, according to new data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Prices are still going up, but they're not going up as fast, and that is good news. That 2.4% annual inflation rate is the lowest rate since May of last year. That was right after President Trump announced a slew of tariffs, and we had seen prices going up in the months after that. Now it looks like prices are still going up, but not quite as fast.
ABC's Elizabeth Schulze, that 2.4% figure still higher than the Fed's 2% target rate for inflation. The USS Gerald Ford will head to the Middle East over the next few days, according to 3 U.S. officials who spoke with ABC. When it arrives, it'll be the second aircraft carrier in the region as the U.S. negotiates with Iran over its nuclear program.
It's certainly a bold move, and it sends a very strong message, I think, towards Iran. Having 2 carrier strike groups, there are other things that have happened, for example, fighter jets landing in Jordan, strengthening of defenses throughout the region. Basically creates this impression that if the U.S. wants to act militarily, it's going to have more than enough resources there to be able to operate offensively and defensively.
ABC's Ian Panel. New data from the Centers for Disease Control finds a total of 910 measles cases across 24 states. You're listening to ABC News.
We'll admit, we've already thrown in the towel on the New Year's resolution.
Yeah, and we made it through dry January. But one healthy new habit we're sticking with is Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to help protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke extract, it's gentle enough to take all year long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Yup, more energy and the peace of mind knowing we can enjoy the good things in life while giving our liver the love it needs.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
This is KTRS News. I'm Sobe Bay. Missouri has formed a new partnership with the Trump administration aimed at improving the state's foster care system. Governor Mike Kehoe signed an agreement with the U.S. Department of Health and Senior Services for an initiative called A Home for Every Child. The goal is to provide safe homes to children across the state. Missouri is the second state in the country to adopt the Home for Every Child initiative, with Oklahoma being the first. Meantime, a federal judge is temporarily blocking the Trump administration from cutting more than $600 million in public health grants for Illinois and several other Democratic-led states. The judge issued the temporary restraining order yesterday, a day after Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul joined attorneys generals from California, Colorado, and Minnesota to sue the White House. The judge said the cuts were based on arbitrary, capricious, and unconstitutional reasons. Pregnant women in Missouri may soon be able to get a divorce. The Missouri House of Representatives passed a bill that prohibits pregnancy status from preventing a court from granting a divorce. Under current Missouri law, pregnant women can only file for a divorce, but it cannot be finalized until the woman gives birth. The bill now is before the state Senate. A bill to permanently ban puberty blockers and hormone blockers for minors in Missouri is advancing. KTRS's Jill Enders has the story.
A bill that would permanently bar doctors from prescribing puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones to minors is now before the Missouri Senate. The measure was passed by the Missouri House yesterday with a vote of 102 to 40. Now, the bill wouldn't change the state's ban on gender-affirming surgeries for those under 18, which was enacted without a sunset in 2023. It would only impact access to cross-sex hormones and puberty blockers. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
Following celebrations of Abraham Lincoln's birthday this week and President's Day on Monday, the Illinois America 250 Commission is set to launch a limited edition tourism passport to help you explore history in the land of Lincoln. Details from KTRS's Steve Potter.
The Passport to Illinois celebrates the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. And no matter which side of the Mississippi River you live on, you can use it as a guide to learn and or visit and explore 56 historic sites, museums, and monuments across the state, and discover the part that they played in both the history of Illinois and of the United States. Beginning in March, the Passport to Illinois will be available at no cost at public libraries and visitor centers. A digital version of the Passport to Illinois can be downloaded online at the Illinois America 250 website. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
And this KTRS Business Minute now brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll wants to help you show your loved one you care this Valentine's Day with hand-delivered flowers. Send a sweet surprise with one of their head-turning arrangements or gift sets. They have wonderful selections ready to say I love you this Valentine's Day and every day. Trust Walter Knoll Florist to deliver your Valentine's Day gift. Go to WKF.com. St. Louis City's two downtown alderpersons introduced an ordinance to establish the Downtown St. Louis Sports and Entertainment Community Improvement District. Alderman Rasheen Aldridge and Alderwoman Jamie Cox Antwell's ordinance establishes a 7-member board of directors and requires annual budget and performance reports to ensure accountability and transparency. It will now move through the Board of Aldermen's committee process before a full board vote in the near future. And now let's take a look at the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. Big jump on Wall Street in the past hour. Dow Jones now up 246 points to 49,698. NASDAQ up 89 points to 22,685. S&P 500 up 41 to 6,873. KTRS Sports, Mizzou basketball gets set for another key showdown, this time with Texas tomorrow night in Columbia. Get an in-depth preview as Brendan Weesey talks with Tiger leading scorer Mark Mitchell tonight on the Big Sports Show. Game day coverage starts at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Number 8 Illinois basketball hopes to avoid a 3-game losing skid when they take on Indiana on Sunday. The Illini are coming off back-to-back overtime losses following a 12-game winning streak. KTRS weather today sunny, high of 62. Tonight cloudy, overnight low of 40. Tomorrow rain likely, high of 52. Sunday partly cloudy, high of 59. And next week may feel like spring with highs Monday of 65, Tuesday 66, Wednesday 72. Right now we have 53 degrees. The time is 11:08. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Miller Furniture, St. Louis's home for American-made furniture, presents Lynn Venhouse Goes to the Movies.
Let's go to the movies.
On the Big 550, KTRS.
So Lynn is with us, and Lynn has this posture here, or this tradition, that game time is on time. If the music is running, that's when you show up. We admire that. And I think it's fitting because there's a new show on Prime about the ABA, and St. Louis is prominently featured with Marvin Barnes, who once showed up to a game with a mink coat right when the game was about to start, and he said, game time is on time. So I think it's kind of fitting. That show has been released today, and you are here today. Bob Costas, by the way, in it. I recommend it. It is awesome.
Oh, because that's how he came to St. Louis.
That's right. 22 years old out of Syracuse.
Yes.
All right, let's begin with Wuthering Heights. I can't believe you're going to be critical of a movie with Margot Robbie in it.
Yeah.
People, I've heard it called the smutification of this great book. Would you think that's agreed?
That's a good one. I haven't read that much about it, but it's a hot mess. They have some moments, but moments do not make a movie. And there's pretty people, and they're pretty to look at, but it's ridiculous. It is just.
I love that candor.
Oh, it's okay. So it starts off with these sounds, and you think something's going on naughty, and it's a hanging.
Oh.
And all these people get jazzed up about this hanging like erotic.
Oh.
And that's how the movie starts.
You mean people are like sexually turned on by watching a hanging?
Yes.
Yikes.
Wow.
And that's how it starts.
That's it.
So I'm like, well, this isn't my Laurence Olivier. Oh, God. Anyway, so I'm a fan of the book. I can't remember much about it, so I went back to see, am I wrong about this? And there's more desire and regrets and mistakes that they both make because they're both very headstrong and they are pretty self-destructive. But in this, there's kinkiness and there's weird stuff, and I don't think that's necessary.
Okay, so you say no on that one. What do you
Right.
say on Love Story, the John F. Kennedy Jr.'s? And
I
Carolyn?
like it. I think we're all invested in this story because we grew up knowing the Kennedy family, and it's America's family, basically. You know, like Dallas is America's cheerleaders. The Kennedys are, and so this is this fishbowl that JFK Jr., was named People Magazine's sexiest man alive. He's, the hunk, and he's running around New York, and everybody's a flutter, and he meets Carolyn Bessette, and he's smitten, and she's different, and she works for Calvin Klein, and so they had 3 episodes last night, and in the last one, Jackie Kennedy dies, and so he's dealing with that, and he and Carolyn get closer. But the Calvin Klein stuff is really good.
Yeah, I haven't tuned in yet, but it's on my watch list for sure. I read a little bit about this movie, and I was so curious to hear what you would think. Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, starring Sam Rockwell, who I really like.
Yeah, if you like Sam Rockwell, this movie, he's just on fire. He is bonkers. He plays a guy from the future, and he looks like he's just this mess of a guy. He walks into a diner, and he grabs an assorted group of people. That includes Juno Temple, Michael Pena, Zazie Beetz, and Haley Lou Richardson. And he takes them on an all-night journey trying to save the world. And basically, it's put the darn phones down. Be in the moment. Be present. Talk to people. It shows these high school kids being zombies and just being... And then it's very cynical social satire. They do this thing about school shootings being so prevalent, and it's very... it's kind of a little awkward about that, because, that's such
Hard
a
to
hot
laugh about
button
that, yeah.
topic. But the whole thing about technology, it's an anti-AI movie. And so you're going to get that. But there's all this goofy stuff that happens, and just the whole thing about, can we just kind of calm down, because our mental health is caught, we're having mental health troubles because of all this reliance on screens and artificial intelligence. And it's going to be the lack of human connection. So,
Okay, so Song Blue, which we've talked about, is now out on Peacock, Valentine's Day.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So can you watch it for free if you have Peacock? Well, I know you're paying for Peacock, all right. And then would you recommend it?
Oh, yes.
1 to 10?
Yeah, I would say it's maybe a 7.
Okay.
I even give it higher than that, but I'm a sucker for Neil Diamond music, so
Yeah, well, maybe an
not.
8. I liked it. And Kate Hudson got an Oscar nomination for it. And it's based on Claire and Mike Sardina of Milwaukee. So it's an incredible true story. Weren't you? I was fascinated by the true story.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I love Miles Teller. I think he's really good. And he's got a new streaming movie coming out on Apple, Eternity.
Yes, today. It's out on, and this is a love triangle in the afterlife. This is Elizabeth Olsen was first married to Callum Turner, and he was in
What a good cast.
Korean War, and he died. And then she met Miles Teller, and they were married for 65 years. So they all wind up in the afterlife. They never say heaven.
Oh, I saw this.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
And I enjoyed it a lot.
I really liked it, yeah.
And it's really a nice love story, especially for older people. I don't think.
Yeah, you said you found it some of the philosophical quandaries that it sort of plays out in this movie. You thought it was really thought-provoking.
And it had a cool ending too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where can you watch this?
It is on Apple TV Plus starting today.
I recommend it. It's really good. Another one I think was awesome. I mentioned it earlier in the week because I watched all 10 hours in about 3 days, was The Lincoln Lawyer, the Mickey Haller, the attorney. It is so well done. It's 10 episodes. There's no way you cannot like it, male or female. It's just really cool.
Yeah, a lot of people do say that as well. And then something new coming out with somebody you haven't seen for a while, Aziz Ansari.
Yeah, this is Good Fortune. I really like this movie. It's a comedy. It's a very sharp comedy. He wrote it. It's about
and Keanu Reeves too, right?
Yeah, Keanu Reeves plays an inept guardian angel. He's in charge of getting people to stop texting and driving, so they don't kill themselves.
Wow.
That's
so it sounds like we're getting a lot of entertainment messages that we have got to stop being so addicted to our phones. Okay, got it.
And Keanu is just adorable in this. He plays this guardian angel, and he's very sincere and he's well-meaning, but he kind of messes with Aziz Ansari. He's one of those, he's got to do all these side hustles, and Seth Rogen is a very rich guy, and he's a mogul, and so Aziz becomes his assistant, but they switch lives, and Keanu's in the middle of it, and so Keanu has to be human for a little bit. So he he eats tacos for the first time, and he's like, "Oh my God, these," and it's just really cute, and it says a lot about society right now, and it is on Stars.
Starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a nice lineup of streaming movies right now.
You have.
And what else is?
Okay, what about The Night Agent? Aren't they about to have a new season that stars Gabriel, is it Basio? Is that his name?
Yeah, that is on Apple TV, right?
Is it Netflix? I thought it was
Netflix.
I thought it was Netflix, but he went to grade school with my daughter, although he's not really a St. Louisan, but he was here for a while. He went to Kirk of the Hills. But did you ever see The Night Agent?
No.
Oh,
is it really good?
Yes. Yes, I love it.
Okay, and I think you'd like. I ran into a list of movies to watch for Valentine's Day. If you're somebody who's who does not have a Valentine and you want to enjoy some time with friends this weekend, Bridesmaids, Bad Moms and 13 Going on 30. Would you agree with that or have anything to add or subtract from that list?
Yeah, I like. I like those like Meryl Streep type movies.
Okay.
That are not the lighter ones. I'm trying to think. What's a good girl movie like you go watch with your girlfriend?
Yeah. What's the one with Diane Keaton and Jack Nicholson? Something's got to give.
Something's got to give. I love that.
That's one I can watch.
But I would
over
pick
again.
Keanu over Jack Nicholson.
Mm-hmm. And then one of my all-time favorites movies that I absolutely loved was Devil Wears Prada, and we're starting to see just a couple of teases. Speaking of Meryl Streep, the teases for that movie is coming. I can't wait. Do you think it's going to be any good?
It looks really good. And speaking of Stanley Tucci, because he's in that, and he's very good in that movie, he is doing those Olympic side little splits about the food. That is a genius idea to get him to go around.
Yeah, he has a podcast that have been doing that for years about Italy and stuff. Yeah,
and the show on CNN was really good. Did you see the piece he did with Snoop yesterday, you guys? Go back and watch it on YouTube. It's really funny. Because he's so prim and proper, and Snoop is not. But it's like the Martha Stewart Snoop connection all over again. You're like, oh, these two belong together. It's really fun.
Oh, well, that's really good to hear. But yeah, there's a lot of when I was at Wuthering Heights yesterday, I saw like 10 previews for movies, and they look really good. The one with Ryan Gosling coming out, Project Hail Mary, and there's a lot of things coming out in March.
Good. Speaking of good stuff coming out, Miller Furniture.
Yes, you have until Wednesday for the half price sale. This only happens twice a year, and this is the time to get on this. And it is half price. It's the good stuff plus custom orders. There is this great recliner that Mark was showing everybody the other day. It is a swivel glide recliner, and it is zero gravity. It's called the Linden recliner, and it has heat and massage.
Oh my gosh!
You would never leave this chair.
How big is it? Really
and
humongous?
It's not that big. It's not that big.
You want us to send the link to Monique?
Yeah.
Yes, because
Valentine's
it's not
Day?
big and bulky. It's called the Linden chair, and it is one of the special deals. But yeah, they have all sorts of new, exciting pieces that are going to upgrade your life, your home, and this is the time to do it. Belleville, Fairview, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville. So go and get the best customer service around, plus the best deals and American-made furniture.
Lynn Venhouse, happy Mardi Gras, happy Valentine's Day weekend. We'll be right back.
This is...
Over the years, Lordo's has become part of the family for many, many St. Louis families. For 80 years, they've been helping St. Louis families with all of the jewelry needs, whether it's the diamond ring, a diamond ring, maybe something for St. Patrick's Day, something for an anniversary, Valentine's Day. Throughout the years and throughout the calendar, it's Lordo's as your go-to. Whether it's men or women, you want to repurpose something or buy something new, Lordo's Diamonds in the heart of Ladue on Clayton Road. You see, it's a family business. The family's been running it for years, and they learned it from their father, who learned it from their father. And so that family jeweler, it's where generations of St. Louisans go. Grandparents have gone there. Your grandkids will go there. Right there in Ladue on Clayton Road, across the street from a Norman Rockwell-esque firehouse, is Lordo's Diamonds. Go in, make a friend, and make them your family jeweler, because you can thank me later. 314-432-8008 or online, lordosdiamonds.com.
I'm Jason Quillman, owner and founder of Window Depot USA of St. Louis. You don't replace your windows and doors every day, so when you do, make it count with the best product at the best value. At Window Depot USA of St. Louis, we bring you Energy Star most efficient triple pane windows built for maximum energy savings, superior sound control, and condensation resistance. And thanks to our national buying power, we offer high-performance triple pane windows competitively priced compared to other companies' double panes. Call Window Depot USA of St. Louis today at 636-9800. 939-4800 or visit us online at windowdepotstl.com.
Some of my fondest memories as a kid is heading down to the hardware store. You had to pick up a couple of nails, a couple of screws, maybe a gallon of paint, whatever it may be, right? It was your friendly neighborhood hardware store. Well, those don't exist anymore in St. Louis, except for Schnarr's Hardware. They have 2 locations in Webster Groves and in Clayton Road in Ladue. Schnarr's Hardware is that place where you go in and you can get that bucket of paint, you can get a couple screws. The advice is always free. And the one thing about Schnarr's Hardware that every single family hardware store used to have, and that is the smell. It smells like a hardware store. It's got the selection. I don't know how they do it. It's a small store, but they got everything you ever need. They got the paint. They got paint matching. They've got big green eggs. They've got screws and nails and everything a hardware store should have. Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations, 1 great hardware store. Schnarr's Hardware, we'll see you there.
Scott, remember when the Queen of Carpet and the Princess of Pile were flying around the arch selling flooring?
Andrea, that was the Queen of Carpet and the Princess of Tile.
Oh, that's right. But we don't need shtick here at Best Buy Flooring.
That's right, because our in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile are already at low, low prices.
Come see us at our 3 area locations, North County, South County, and Metro East. Open 7 days a week.
Plus, free financing on approved credit. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
It's February, and we all know what happens in February, Valentine's Day. Instead of hitting the expensive spots that limit selections and hike up prices, consider spending the evening or morning in the casual comfort of Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant. Why make Valentine's a nighttime thing? Gingham's is open 24 hours, and everything on our extensive menu is available day or night. With the weather we've had, there's nothing better than a hearty breakfast or a hot bowl of soup, a great homestyle meal, and a piece of pie to top it off. Make it Gingham's this February, and visit us at ginghamsrestaurant.com.
Are you retired? Are you thinking about retiring? Who is helping you with retirement? Might be time to check out the show When Retirement Happens, hosted by Kevin Lloyd of Legacy Wealth Advisors. Saturday at 1, Sunday at noon on the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's meet the contestants on today's dating game.
Contestant number 1, I'm upside down. What can you do for me?
Not much, but HW Kia will pay off your trade even if you owe thousands more than it's worth.
Contestant number 2, if I'm a first timer or been turned down, what can you do for me?
Nothing, but HW Kia can get first-time buyers, customers turned down, and those with a job clearance $450 per week approved.
Contestant number 3, my monthly bill comes and it's more than I can pay. What can you do for me?
Not a thing, but you'll never overpay at HW Kia. Get a brand new Kia with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty for under 20 grand.
Well, there's no contest. I choose HW Kia.
Don't be pushed into a blind deal. Pick the winner, HW Kia in West County. New Kia K4LXS, just $19,995. Plus, bring any trade and get up to 120% over KBB fair market value. HWKia.com.
On approved credit, not all will qualify, plus tax, title, license, and 587 title and registration processing fee. Negative equity refinanced and new loan. Rebates and incentives to dealer. Offers not in combination. Expires 3/2/26.
The Bommarito Automotive Group is Missouri's #1 automotive group. They've sold over 1 million vehicles by giving you a better price, a better selection, and more for your trade. You can shop them online, see their entire inventory at bommarito.com.
Want a song?
Around my mind like the song on the radio.
Want a quote? It's the song and quote of the day on the Frank and Jill Show. Right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Welcome back to the Frank and Jill Show on Friday the 13th, one day before Valentine's Day. Reggie Cusimano in the house. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you look carefully, you get to see his cute little tail wagging around. Studio always makes Fridays a little more fun around here. Jill Farmer, Frank Cusimano, Connor McCarthy. Connor, you're in the age range of people who can still acceptably go to Mardi Gras, unlike us, Frank and I, without looking weird.
You don't think you can attend?
No.
Well, I would want to.
Or if you would want to.
We did go, the first year we moved to Lafayette Square because we could walk there. So we thought, this is fun. We walked down there, and it made John and I, both of our anxiety levels went through the roof because we saw these people that were about the same age as our college-age kids at the time, extremely inebriated. So all I was doing was going, who's got this girl? She's just wandering around, stumbling by herself. Who's got her? I want to make sure she's taken care of. And then one young woman did trip, and John kind of caught her before she hit the ground. And she looked up at him and said, "Oh, hey, Dad." And I said, I really think it's time for us to go home.
Retired from the parade.
That was our, so we just sit out and watch the people walk by and wave as they're heading down.
From where you are? Isn't there a big one in Dogtown?
I mean, there's a St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, Dogtown doesn't do anything Mardi Gras.
I mean,
everything's in Soulard,
yeah,
pretty
everything's
much
in Soulard,
for Mardi Gras. Song of the day, we've been talking about Valentine's Day and picking some of the greatest love songs of all time. And Frank requested that for the greatest, we chose the great Barry White.
Oh, you went Barry White. I have some Teddy Pendergrass. Go ahead.
It is a great song and great. And that voice, I mean, it's just the richest, maybe the richest bass or baritone voice that ever existed.
For a certain generation, when you think love songs and get you in the mood, it was all Barry White. And I tell you, Jill, he did, and you should YouTube it and watch it. He did something with Pavarotti, and he did this song, and the two of them together. It was incredible. So,
I will have to look it up because one of the other things I ran across and I almost played, maybe I'll do it in a future one, was I'd forgotten it was I think it was 1977. Billy Joel did "Just the Way You Are," which is a beautiful love song ballad, and Barry White in 1978 did a remake of it, and it's a really soulful version of that. Just him at the piano. It's really, really good. Okay, so if we would have picked a Teddy Pendergrass song, what would be the greatest?
It would have been "Close the Door," which literally. It's almost like an instructional video to a romantic evening.
Okay.
That's basically what it is. And but that's a toss-up between those two. I mean, look, I think Barry White's probably more popular, although "Close the Door" got to #1 on the R&B in '78, I believe. But and we lost them both too young. Barry White was only 56 years old, but he just was iconic. And I think you picked the right song.
Good. Okay. So earlier this week, we had some fun sound from Jerry Seinfeld talking about growing up in the 60s. And Jason Alexander, he thinks of himself as a comedic actor, but not necessarily a comedian. But he was speaking to a group of other actors and writers, I believe. And he had some interesting things. He was about 4 years ago telling the story of just all the brilliance that came together to make Seinfeld so good. I thought you would appreciate this, Frank. You know that one? I've heard a much longer version that Larry David tells, and he always uses this the Chinese restaurant episode to say they started meddling and they almost ruined completely. It would have completely lost the show because the reason that we found audiences, we were different enough that whole "it's a show about nothing" became the reason that people actually wanted to watch it.
Yeah, and those first two seasons, you watch them. In fact, you can almost tell if it's going to be really funny or just okay by the coloring, because like the older ones, it's just like a different coloring when you're watching it. Maybe the
You think they hadn't found its footing yet, and it gets better.
Gosh, yeah. The first 2 seasons were okay, and then all of a sudden, boom. And then the last episode, the Seinfeld finale, 76 million.
And I didn't like it. Did you like it?
Not as much, but
Imagine if it was good, they would have gotten 90 million. I mean, they would have. Instead, it's just this bad episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you turn it off though.
No. I've
Football
watched.
game you sometimes turn off. You don't turn off this.
Yeah, and the one I remember from really in childhood was the last episode of MASH.
For sure.
That was I'll just never forget that. It was so.
Yeah, that was for a long time. That and Who Shot JR were the most highest rated TV shows. By the way, one quick little Barry White story that I always remember, that he said he had a squeaky voice when he was like 13. And then one day he went down for breakfast and he said, "Hello, Mother," in this unbelievable voice. And like she was like stunned that her little boy became a man at that moment. And then he knew, yeah, I got something here.
Yeah, liquid gold is what he had for sure. Hey, our friend Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man, just wants to remind you that we talk a lot. It's a very busy time from October into the middle of December, when we are in the time when it's time to sign up and enroll, and by law you have to enroll in Medicare if that's your age to join. But he says, unfortunately, people get embarrassed because they sign up, they get it done, they check it off their list, and then say, this isn't right for me, or I think I could have done better with a plan that fits my needs, or something in my life has changed, a factor has moved in the equation, so to speak, and I got to adjust, and I don't know how to do it. Now is the time when you can meet with Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man, and make those changes. We're in that period right now. And you don't have to be embarrassed about choices you've made before. You don't have to be embarrassed about not really understanding things as well as you should have. That's his job, is to help you find exactly the right plan and help you understand it better as well. All you have to do is pick up the phone. Just grab a pen, write this down, 314-368-6808 or MedicareManSTL.com. For the right plan, call the Medicare man.
And now, KTRS weather.
Meteorologist Shane Scotch with your first alert forecast, tracking a sunny day, 62 degrees. Take advantage because by late morning Saturday, we're going to be tracking some rain moving in. Could be impactful for your plans. 51 degrees for the high. Steady rain lasts all the way through Sunday morning before pushing off to the east. Highs towards the upper 50s into Sunday. The rest of the day Sunday going to be looking dry with a lot more sunshine. We'll continue to rise with temperatures eventually reaching back towards the lower 70s by next Wednesday. Looking dry. The second half of the week, some isolated chances on deck. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Shane Scotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, Heidi Glaus here, inviting you to join me October 24th as we journey in search of Iceland's magical Northern Lights with Colette. We're going to experience the land of fire and ice with a rare opportunity to search for the Northern Lights, one of nature's most dazzling light displays. We'll see steaming lava fields, massive glacier-sculpted mountains and valleys, not to mention thundering waterfalls. We'll travel the Golden Circle and walk on a black volcanic sand beach, plus relax in the warm, mineral-rich water of the Blue Lagoon. This and so much more. Colette handles the details from flights, meals, hotels, and local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Don't miss out. Join me and call our friends at Altair Travel, 314-968-9600, or go to KTRS.com to learn more. That number again, 314-968-9600.
She's a lady. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She's a lady. I'm talking about my little lady. And that lady's all mine. Hi, folks. This is Tony Viviano, and I want to invite you to attend my Valentine's Day dinner dance concert at Fallon's, Ellisville, Missouri, Saturday, February 14th. Enjoy a 4-course exceptional dinner, all timeless love songs, and a long stem rose for every lady. For more information, visit TonyViviano.com.
Brown & Brown Attorneys at Law want to remind you that February is Heart Health Month. Getting hurt on the job or in a car wreck is not for the faint of heart. Call now for a free consultation. 314-333-3333.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Schrader Funeral Homes and Crematory, St. Louis's oldest family-owned funeral home, offering complete funeral, burial, and cremation services, including an on-site reception center and crematory. 150 years of serving St. Louis families. Visit them at Schrader.com.
The University of Missouri St. Louis is committed to providing top-ranked education. More than 80% of our students receive financial aid. At UMSL, more is what moves us. Find your more and explore your financial aid options at more.umsl.edu.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
I bet we're the only talk show in America playing Teddy Pendergrass today. That's great. All right, welcome back. Frank and Jill Show, Big 550 KTRS. When I arrived here in 1993, and I went to almost every blues practice, I always went right to this guy's locker because he was a great interview and a great guy. He was one of the best defensemen in blues history, had a slap shot on the point, which was insanely good. He is Jeff Brown. He joins us now. Jeff, good to be with you. How are you?
You're too kind, Frank. How are you, bud?
Everything's great. So we got a lot to talk about, including you being the coach of those junior blues teams, which were just loaded with talent. Matthew Tkachuk, Clayton Keller, Logan Brown, your son, Luke Cunnin, and Trent Frederick. All 5 went into the first round of the 2016 NHL draft. You coached them as kids. We always say that when we're looking at little kids, every once in a while we can tell, hey, that kid's different. Well, you had like 5 on one team. Tell me what that experience was like for you.
Well, when they were starting out, I mean, they were just like every other kid. I mean, obviously there was a little bit of lineage with, myself and Big Walt. But the Frederick family was incredible athletes. And, Keller at the time was, the most skilled of them all. So it was a kind of a perfect storm, I guess, where all these kids got together, and obviously I put them through their paces pretty good in practice and had them compete against one another, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, practice was always good, and I'd put them head to head so that there was no slacking, and they obviously developed through the years, and then I think they all ended up in the program and that kind of stuff. So it's been a good run for them.
It's so fun to see him competing in the Olympics. Jeff, it's Jill Farmer, and thanks so much for joining us today. We have something in common. We both started our lives in Ontario. I was up in Thunder Bay. You were further south there, but we love living in St. Louis. And I've asked Frank this question before, too. Why do so many hockey players, especially former Blues players, end up staying in St. Louis here?
Well, I think it reminded me so much of Ottawa. Thunder Bay, that's not too far where I played junior in Sudbury. So I'm a northern. I was 4 years there. So
Mr. Karan used to always say to me,
well.
Jill, Thunder Bay, great skaters from Thunder Bay, whenever I would run into him.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, down to earth, Ottawa, grew up, hardworking people, honest, and I just met a lot of people like that in St. Louis, and just enjoyed my time there. Obviously, we had 5 great years when I was there, and met a lot of great people, and still had a home kind of when I was forced to retire because of concussions, and so that's kind of where we started putting down roots, as opposed to maybe going back to Canada.
What about Matthew and Brady as kids? How do you remember how feisty they were?
yeah, both have continued on. Matthew was first. Logan was a 98 playing up with the 97s. Him and Clayton played up with the 97s. And at the time, Matthew didn't get around very well, but had the brain, had the hands, had the vision. Just needed to get the foot speed up a little bit, but competitive as all heck. And then fast forward 2-3 years later, when Logan and Clayton went back with the 98s, Brady was a 99, and this is all birth years I'm talking. And he moved. He came and played with the 98. So Logan and Clayton kind of, and Trent right in between the two of them, and they all had a chance to play up with Matthew, and kind of Brady had a chance to play up. But right from day one, Brady was the youngest guy on the team, and he'd run around and stick it up for the guys that he was a year younger than, but always had that grit, that passion.
You played in so many big games in the NHL. Were you more nervous, watching your flesh and blood Logan, who was a terrific player, than when you played?
Yeah. So you're just sitting in the stands, kind of hoping, but when you played, you could actually do something about it, type thing. Whereas, maybe the few times I tried to do something about it with Logan, it didn't work out so well. So the point is that it's a lot easier when you're able to do something as opposed to, just hoping things work out and that in your son.
Have you had a chance, Jeff Brown, we're talking to, of course, great blues player and junior coach of the Tkachuk brothers playing in the Olympics right now. Have you had a chance to watch this new documentary on the 1980 Olympic hockey team that just came out? And if so, what are your thoughts?
No, I have not. So I have not seen it. I'm actually going to hunker down at my cottage for a week. I'm heading up that way now, and that was one of the things on my list of to-dos when I build a big fire and enjoy the snow up there.
All right, so how do you see this potential gold medal game between the United States and Canada? It just appears Canada has better players. There's a question mark in goal, but Jordan Binnington was out of sight. Which way would you lean if you had to bet a milkshake on?
Well, if it was just a milkshake, I mean, Canada did it last time. So, I got faith in Binnington. Obviously, he's at his best in the biggest moments, so there's no reason why he's not going to do that again. And, that the top 5 or 7 or 8 or whatever you want to call it on Canada, it's pretty spectacular. Some of the top names that, are going to go down in all-time type stuff. So, that's an impressive team. And if Binnington steps up, I don't know how you can bet against them.
All right, one final thought before I let you go. Describe the high when you were in your prime, heading down to the rink, whether it's at the Old Barn or at Enterprise, and it's going to be packed. You're surrounded by your best friends who happen to be stars. Men want to be like you, girls want to be with you. Just that whole high of a professional athlete in your early 20s in St. Louis.
So I can fast forward to now when I drive by Oakland and it doesn't look anything like the Old Barn. Like everything's built up and you can't see down where the rink used to sit down. So I got traded right before they moved into the new Enterprise at the time. And so my memories are all the Old Barn and how great it was and the excitement and especially the Blackhawks and that kind of thing. It was pretty special. It was, again, one of the reasons that I came back was just the memories that I had in that barn. Unfortunately, we had such a good young team that we just couldn't get out of that second round, and they blew it up. And it just, to this day, I'm upset about it because we could have had, 5 or 8 more great years there together as a nucleus, and you know the names. I mean, it was just all of us were kind of entering in our primes and that kind of thing, and just because we got a few bad bounces, let's call it, against Minnesota that one year, and it was a little frustrating. But what great memories I have of making that drive and exiting, like I said, down Oakland Avenue.
What would you pay to be 25 again for one night and unleashing a slap shot in a big game?
Yeah, wouldn't that be special? Still dream a little bit about it, which is crazy, isn't it? And it's a lifetime ago. It's 30 years ago, and I can't believe it's been so long. And I still actually have the odd dream once in a while that I'm back in that old locker room, and hopefully will never leave me.
Yeah, gosh, that was 30 years ago. I must have started when I was 10 because I'm only 40 now covering you. That's weird. So,
Frank math.
It's actually more than 30 years ago.
Yeah, I wasn't going to correct either of you guys.
Jeff,
Yeah.
right? Hey, great to hear your voice.
In '89. Yeah.
Wow. Great to hear your voice. Congrats on an incredible career, raising good kids and coaching Olympians. Good to hear your voice, sir.
Frank, I appreciate it anytime, bud.
All right. The great Jeff Brown joining us.
That was funny. Quick hockey, non-hockey story. But when we first moved to town, 24 years old, and some dear college friends of ours were really Ron Caron's family in St. Louis. He didn't, and so they were very, very close, and wonderful Frisella family, and they just took us under their wing because we didn't have family in St. Louis, and so we got invited to go sit in the box at a Blues game.
At Enterprise or Old Barn?
It was just Enterprise had just it was brand new. And we were very excited, and we get down there and we walk in, and the people that we're with said, "Oh, you're dressed like that." I had on what I thought was my best pair of jeans and a shirt. Well, you know me well enough to know I don't like to go to places underdressed. It's not my MO generally. No. Would you say that's
absolutely
fair?
Not, as everybody here at KTRS would attest.
And so I was so mortified. I was like, I can't believe I dressed wrong for this wonderful opportunity. So the first thing I blurted out to Mr. Caron was, I'm from Canada, because I didn't want him to notice that I was underdressed. And we were really good friends from there on out. He always wanted to talk about what fish, and the fact that I knew what a northern was and a pike, and knew the great north fish. That I didn't know much about hockey, but I could at least talk Canada a bit with him. Yeah. So that was good.
Jill, underdressed. Stop the presses, ladies and gentlemen. That is a first. By the way, these interviews with Jeff Brown and with Joe Micheletti are the reason why when anybody asks me, what's the best type of athlete to interview, I always say NHL players, because a lot of times the common denominator is they come from, humble roots, and they appreciate everything they've achieved and gotten in life. And those are two just salts of the earth men.
I was going to say humility and honesty and genuineness comes through, everybody. I mean, everybody. Kelly Chase and Keith Kachuk, everybody, you've said it well. Speaking of honest conversations, our friends at McKnight Place Assisted Living, the Gatesworth Properties, and of course Park Provence, that's a big part of why so many people, there's a lot of choices in St. Louis on where you can go for senior living and some lovely facilities. But when it comes to the combination of the best medical staff, the best people that are planning the lifestyle choices that you have there at McKnight Place, which includes just entertainment and the ability to participate in all kinds of activities and do things that are stimulating your brain every single day. The people who take care of the physical space and have it look luxurious and lovely and just so warm and inviting, whether you want to host parties or whether you want to live there full time. All of that comes together and culminates. It's a convergence of just the best of the best. And that's why so many people who are out there doing the searching, looking for the information, trying to make the best choice for themselves or their loved ones come back to it time and time again. There's just no place better. And we agree. Start the conversation today at McKnightPlace.com, 314-993-3333. Don't go away.
Experience the Academy Award-winning phenomenon Amadeus like never before as the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra and Chorus perform Mozart's greatest works live to picture, conducted by music director Stéphane Deneuve. Witness a thrilling rivalry fueled by envy, obsession, and immortal music. Amadeus in concert, February 13th and 14th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
She's a lady. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She's a lady. I'm talking about my little lady. And that lady's all mine. Hi, folks. This is Tony Viviano, and I want to invite you to attend my Valentine's Day dinner dance concert at Fallon's, Ellisville, Missouri, Saturday, February 14th. Enjoy a 4-course exceptional dinner, all timeless love songs, and a long stem rose for every lady. For more information, visit TonyViviano.com.
Way back in time, if you had a leak in the roof of your hut, I imagine you had to find a tree close by, scale it, and then jump and hope you could get up there and see what was wrong. Then came the advent of the ladder. There was an easier way to get up there and see if something was wrong. And with modern technology, we finally get around to the drone. Now, the folks at Allen Roofing use those instead of trees and ladders. Send a drone up, find out if there's anything wrong with your roof, get some pictures, go over it with you, and see if there's a problem, how bad it is, what they could do, what it'll cost. Or if everything's just fine, they will tell you that too. Boy, it's so nice we don't have to climb trees to look at our hut. Allen Roofing embracing technology and doing quality roof repair, siding, gutters, everything for the outside of your home. Just ask Gronk. He was one of the first customers. It's Allen Roofing. Find him online at aroofing.net.
File your taxes for free with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. Just file on your own in the Credit Karma app by February 28th. Valid for those who didn't file with TurboTax last year.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you, like a Swedish masseuse, your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
That was going to be the other Barry White love song choice. I couldn't decide between the two of them.
Yeah, that may even be more sensuous.
Well, it's a little more upbeat. So I was trying for a more romantic, but it's a good song too.
Yeah, you picked a great one there. We want to thank the great people from Kuna for being a part of our weekly special where we profile the hot new restaurants, the traditional filled restaurants every Thursday. And Kuna is doing some incredible things, helping restaurants for over 100 years in the St. Louis area. Speaking of restaurants and food, John Carney definitely has the best smelling office
He does.
in the United States.
And we're always stopping.
What does he have in there today?
Today he has homemade fettuccine Alfredo.
Okay. Well, the other day he had wings from Hooters, so that wasn't like high end, but
Yeah, but it always smells of good food.
And we're always starving. So
Okay.
walking by right after the show, I agree with you.
When's the last time you had fettuccine Alfredo?
I don't, my
Same
stomach
here.
doesn't.
It's like 2 bites and you're done.
I used to really love it. Now my stomach doesn't like it anymore. Darn it. That's one of the other bad things about getting old. We talked about wedding registries earlier. Daughter Jane getting married in less than 3 months now. And bridal shower weekend here in St. Louis. She's in from Texas for that. You talked about like the fact that it's the guys maybe, aren't the ones picking out the gifts, and said, for instance, why doesn't somebody put a set of golf clubs on there? Text from Josh Gilbert would win the text of the day today, I think, if we were giving it away. He sent this to us. If someone asked for golf clubs on the registry, I would wrap up a blender and 3 toasters and make it look like new clubs.
Cruel but funny.
Yes, and that was your response to it, but I thought that was
do you think you could get away with new golf clubs on the registry? Like,
Golf Galaxy.
just Just a couple new clubs, like a new driver, a new putter, maybe. I
or
don't know.
even like a bunch of Pro V1 balls. Just a little something for the effort.
Right, and we asked earlier best Valentine's Day gift, worst Valentine's Day gift. We got quite a few that said, with maybe a little rancor in the text, if we're reading into it, that you'd had a few Valentines where you got nothing, and so you ended up buying something for yourself because you were like, okay, I'll two can play at this game if you're not gonna give me something as well. And then there were a couple of vacuums. That's a lot of apparently not the most romantic gift that people could get.
So does John go all out because Valentine's Day is significant because that's the day the romance
He is a
begins?
great gift giver. And in the past, he really has gone. I begged him not to this year because I didn't have any great ideas, and we've done a lot of great things, and we have some travel and a wedding on the horizon. So I said, can we just write each other a really nice love note and go out to a fun dinner and then just call it a year? And he says yes, but I don't always trust him. Sometimes he comes through with some sneaky surprises, and then I'm left empty-handed.
Well, you could
for him.
also go to Walgreens like the texter suggested and then read a card to each other, then put it back in.
Right. That was a suggestion yesterday for how to save money on Valentine's Day cards, which you could not.
Frugal people.
I mean, we have to agree that was a way to save money. I think many couples would say it was also a way to end up in a big fight. But if it worked for those two, thumbs up for them.
Here's a good one. My nephew put a $10,000 pinball machine on his wedding registry. I don't think he got
there
it.
you go.
You can put it on there. You can take your shot, but I don't think so.
I know. It is. I know. I apparently.
You're never going to get it if you don't ask.
Right.
You put it out there.
Yes, that's exactly right. But there is something that I think feels defeating for people when they put something on the registry and it just gets left there. So I think a lot of couples like to put stuff on there that actually is going to be helpful for the gift buyers.
We want a full report on the all the showers this weekend.
I'll take pictures of the food and send it to you. How about that?
And I'll have a full report on ABBA.
And Queen.
Queen, yeah.
Tribute bands, not the real ones. No. You're going to see tribute bands of ABBA and Queen because your lovely wife you complain and then you go and you'll be back on Monday going, it was awesome. I can predict it now.
We'll see about that.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Connor, have a good time doing Mardi Gras and all the things this weekend. You guys have a great weekend too. Carney and Buck up next. Heidi, Josh, and Bob. Heidi Glaus show a little bit later. Keep your dial right here, everybody, and make it a great weekend. You deserve it.
Some of my fondest memories as a kid is heading down to the hardware store. You had to pick up a couple of nails, a couple of screws, maybe a gallon of paint, whatever it may be, right? It was your friendly neighborhood hardware store. Well, those don't exist anymore in St. Louis, except for Schnarr's Hardware. They have two locations in Webster Groves and in Clayton Road in Ladue. Schnarr's Hardware is